Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3-0 Take, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Oh, welcome back to the 3-0 Take, presented by SeatGeek. This is episode 507. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin. I'm here with my co-host, Nate Reyes. Nate,
let's loosen up. Let's
talk some ball.
It's Monday point two is what I like to call Wednesday. Monday point 2.0. What do you think?
Well, that's
you don't think
depressing.
so?
I thought today was Thursday, so thanks for that. Well,
do you go? You got to go in the office on Thursdays, right?
No, I'm home Thursdays, which is real nice.
You're home Thursdays. So you thought you just remember that episode where Dwight thinks it's Friday? They fool him all day. He doesn't show up until like noon.
I'm here.
Oh,
yep. I thought
good.
today was Thursday, so I would have gone into the office today. My boss would have been awfully confused.
Yeah.
Glad
Casual Friday. Is that a thing?
It's casual every day, dude.
Yeah,
jeans and a sweatshirt every day.
Same.
It's glorious.
Yeah.
Speaking of casual.
Yeah.
Real casual. Can we talk about this Junior Caminero home run trot? One of the most casual things I've ever seen in my life.
Buckle up. I don't know what's longer, our quote theme song or this home run trot.
This home run trot, I believe. I think we got the clock on it. I think it comes in at 56 seconds.
I love it. I don't love it, but it's not MLB, so whatever. Who cares?
Why not? So if you don't know, this is Game 7 of the Dominican Republic Professional Baseball League.
Winter ball.
Their championship series. Yes, winter ball. Junior Caminero Rays
Carbonara.
Carrabba's. Junior Olive Garden.
They still got those?
Junior Olive Garden. No, he blasted a ball in the 9th. It wasn't even a walk-off, mind you.
It was tied up, right?
No, they went ahead. I think they went ahead, but it wasn't a walk-off, which was kind of funny. But like you said, it's not Major League Baseball, so it's not as surprising.
No rules
when you put that into consideration. But let's just take a look here. Let's take a look, see what happened.
Jairo Asensio, el líder en juego salvado de todos los tiempos. Duro por el center field. No. I can't believe it.
That break the scoreboard?
I can't believe it. Lo hizo.
I mean, look at this. The whole team's out there. It's not even a walk-off.
Freaking mascot was there. Did you see that?
Dale un cuadrangular a tu salud con los medicamentos genéricos Línea Azul. Línea Azul, producto con calidad certificada, calidad
mascot.
Ese jugador llegó seguro con Mexana. Aquí se viene a darlo todo con Mexana para los que se la juegan todos los días.
Full stop at third is crazy.
Dude, this right here daps up.
Estrelló de aire. Allá el jardín central y aquí lo retó Jairo Asensio. Y qué clase de palo. La pelota regresó, pero honrón enorme y pone delante a los Leones aquí en esta parte alta del noveno. Batazo descomunal de Junior Caminero.
Anota tú también con un asesor inmobiliario de Mr. Home. Una asesoría inmobiliaria diseñada a tu medida. Síguenos como @MRHOMRD.
Ahí está la repetición del batazo, como pueden ver.
Yo, he broke this.
Wow. De verdad que está en un gran momento ofensivo
And that's not even the craziest part of this video. That's the insane part.
Excelente jugador.
The full stop at third was what did it for me. I'm like, what are we doing? This is.
Oh, he freaking yeeted his helmet like 5 steps before home too.
He pulled the wing. I mean, I'm not gonna give Jesse Winker credit for it, but you know the move that Jesse Winker pulled, where full stop before he gets to first base, rips the uniform. I don't know,
Dude.
chucks the helmet. Did that, and then another full stop at third base. Just insanity. But yeah, you're right. I mean, chaos. Just and we saw it at the World Baseball Classic. We got a little taste of that. I mean, a substantial taste actually. Like we were in the thick of it there. Like that. It's a whole nother ball game. It's a whole nother ball game.
It's so different. Like it's just so different. And for anybody, because like if there's anybody who would be difficult to shift to this side of the spectrum, it'd be you and me. You and me we were last on the train for let the kids play. We're I'm not gonna say anti-bat flip, but like we think there's
I'm team
swag,
bat drop, by the way.
There's swag in no celebration in my mind. So for us to be able to do that, but we're talking MLB compared to international baseball. International baseball is something so different, dude. Like being at the WBC, there's fans that don't sit down, that don't stop making noise.
The chants are off the charts.
Are constant, and that's like that's what winter ball looks like to me. That's what that looked like to me. Like it's just like let's go. Look at old Pudge in the chat.
How about that?
Oh,
shout out Pudge. Welcome.
Shout out Pudge.
Welcome, Pudge. Yeah, just wanted to cover that before we got into things because I did not want to go this episode without showing that clip because I mean
unbelievable.
And anytime I'll last thing before we move on, anytime I see a clip like this, it reminds me of what I said, which I stand by. I'm waiting for the day that it happens. You've probably heard me say this a dozen times at this point. In our lifetime, we will see somebody, you see the full stop before you get to first base and you like ripping the jersey out. We will see, mark my words. You think I'm joking? I'm dead serious. We will see pants drop following a significant late inning, possibly walk-off home run before the guy gets to first base. Mark my words. Pants will drop. Take that out of context. Clip it if you want. Pants will drop in our lifetime. What do you mean? How does it work? People rip the jersey.
They don't rock the baggy pants no more, so they're not going to slide over the cleats very well. They got those tweeners now. Those tweeners are snug.
Intentional. I'm not saying they're going to fall by accident. This is very much going to be like I'm letting it all hang. I'm putting it on the table. I'm that guy. That you watch. We're gonna see it.
I hope not.
Yeah, believe me, I'm not saying I want to see it. Just saying it will happen in our lifetime. Speaking of seeing things in our lifetime, I never thought I'd see the Yankees turn into. I mean, well known as one of the richest and most valuable sports franchises in the world, but also
fourth most valuable.
Fourth
to according to Forbes. If we're gonna
valued at $7.55 billion, well known, one of the most valuable franchises, but learning very quickly, also one of the softest apparently. Hal Steinbrenner, what are we doing, guy? What are we doing? This is embarrassing.
I don't like. Can you like lose a last name? Can you be like removed?
Legally, I think it should be allowed in this scenario because this is. I mean,
it's awful.
George has got to be rolling over in his grave, man. This is
just crazy, man.
Just do your job, man.
Yeah.
Don't be making like fans are in a different world here. Fans have the right to complain about what the Dodgers are doing if they so choose. I don't necessarily fall into that camp. I think what they're doing is wild. I think it's unprecedented, sure. But everything they're doing is legal. We've covered that point multiple times. Everything they're doing is legal. So complain about it as much as you want, but they're not breaking any rules. But as the owner of the Yankees to come out and make the Dodgers your boogeyman, and really on behalf, which I thought was the richest part of all of this, no pun intended, almost coming out on behalf of the rest of baseball. Ultimately what he said, the quote was, well, look, it's difficult for most of us owners to be able to do the kind of things that they're doing. Now we'll see if it pays off. They still have to have a season relatively injury-free for it to work out for them, and it's a long season, as you know. And once you get to the postseason, anything can happen. We've seen that time and time again. It's difficult for most of us owners to be able to do the kind of things that they're doing.
That's like, he's not wrong. What's crazy is that, like, the whole statement is correct, except grouping him in the us category is the most ridiculous thing. The most ridiculous thing. This is the worst quote I think I've ever heard out of his mouth. This is bad. This is bad. It's not. It sucks for the other organizations to just be like, why is this guy speaking for us? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's true. It's true, man. He just has, like, there's something out of Yankee land that just makes you scratch your head every offseason now. And I mean, his dad was in headlines all the time, but it was never for being like a poor me situation. You know what I mean? Like, he was famous for, kind of outing contract negotiations with players and, declining, trade requests and things like that, and making it, like villainizing the player. Is villainizing a word? Let's roll with it. Just making the player the bad guy in scenarios. And like that's just what he did. And he was constantly in the headlines. And when it was followed up with winning in the late 90s, like, it all was forgiven. But let's not forget that, like, his fan base hated him in the 80s and early 90s. Like, he was a mess. So it's difficult to sit here and say, like, George was the standard. But at the same time, he never cried poor me.
I got a little exercise.
All he did was flex.
Well, I've got a little exercise for us. So let's do a little compare and contrast between Hal and Father George. Let's revisit Hal's quote. Well, look, it's difficult for most of us owners to be able to do the kind of things that they're doing. Let's go over to Dad. George Steinbrenner. Winning is the most important thing in my life after breathing. Breathing first, winning next. I think Hal's adopted.
Father of the year for sure. Yeah.
I think Hal's adopted because those two schools of thought do not mesh whatsoever.
Yeah,
and you can't, in the Steinbrenner family line, you can't have the father saying, I will literally, after breathing, I will do whatever it takes to win. And then you can't have the son being like, well, guys, look, I like winning as much as the next person. But I draw a line in the sand when I feel like other teams, namely the Dodgers, are sort of playing a little unfairly, which again, everything they're doing is legal. But these two, like I said, these two schools of thought just don't match, or they just don't mesh. They don't line up.
Yeah. Look, man, like, I think what they're doing is like you said, it's uncharted territory. And I think there will be a point where more players take the selfless route. Is it hard to keep up when the Dodgers have the best player in the world on a deferred contract like that, only making $2 million a year? That's going against your cap hit. Yeah, like it is hard to keep up, because he's the best player in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like anywhere he offered that contract and offered that structure to multiple organizations. He made that known wherever he was going, that was the structure he had in mind. So, I mean, like, is it rare that a team has the best player in the world who is basically free and they're still able to do so much more to build around him? Yeah, I mean, that's rare. It's not necessarily unfair. I think that aspect to it is hard to keep up with because you can't go get another Ohtani and have him for a bag of chips. So I understand that ideology.
Sure.
But like at the same time, no Yankee fan cares about you spending another 60 or 70 mil. Like nobody cares that hurts. It doesn't hurt you. You have so much money. The Yankees have so much money.
And again, there's nothing stopping the New York Yankees from structuring contracts the way that the Los Angeles Dodgers do. Hal just needs to have a little bit more self-awareness. And look, I know I recognize the hat I'm wearing, so you're probably taking what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But I think most people would probably agree that Hal just needs to have some self-awareness in understanding that the Yankees are not the preferred destination anymore. That's the reality of it. They used to be, because you could throw whatever amount of money you wanted at any given player, and they were going to take it because what better honor in all of Major League Baseball than to don the pinstripes? That's just not the way things work anymore. Los Angeles is clearly a far better destination in terms of your career, in terms of your marketability, in terms of your opportunity to win. That's fact.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're also talking about like think of the age. Everyone that grew up watching the Yankees dynasty years probably hated them. And now they're at that age. We're like, I don't want to choose that place. So, and that's okay. I don't know. There's so many different factors to this, and it is what it is. I don't really care if players want to play there or not. Like, I'd be thrilled if the best players in baseball said, "Yeah, that's my place, no matter what." But like, that's just not how it goes. They have other factors in their decision and whatever. But like, I definitely don't want the owner of the team coming out and saying, poor me, when it's literally, look it up, Forbes list is 4th most valuable franchise in all of sports. And if we take money out of it, like, I don't know, the Yankee emblem is up there with like Nike.
Like it's got to stand for something. Like
people in the world wearing it that have no idea, they don't even watch games. You know what I mean? Like that's what that emblem represents, and that's what is out there. And it's sad, dude. It really is sad. And so I think it's time to move on. You know, like we gotta see things shaking up soon. Maybe Hal sells it at some point, or I don't know, some desperate, angry Yankee fan poisons his food or something.
Okay. Well,
not me.
On that note, speaking of selling, the Padres are looking to shop Dylan Cease and Michael King. I think we knew Cease was a possibility. I think we've known that for a little while. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that was news with the Michael King edition, but I feel like lately, or as of yesterday, the day before, Michael King's name has been floated out as a possible trade option for the Padres, looking to move on from that contract as he enters. Well, both of them are going into their final season of ARB control. So, I would have thought that the Padres, certainly maybe they're just testing the waters, but I would have thought that maybe with the way that King had pitched, and I think the way a lot of people had, at least close to that franchise, would have hoped that he would have pitched as coming back as part of that return for Soto. Why wouldn't you try to find a way to make that work? I mean, that's a piece that you're. And I understand you're logjam with some pretty ugly contracts right now. I get that. But But I can't imagine that contract, should it come time to pay the man. I can't imagine that being an albatross of a contract.
I'm trying to figure out what is there like another play here? Is there like another thing they're trying to like manipulate the market in a way? I'm looking at who's left on the free agent list, and outside of like Flaherty, there's not really any other pitchers that I would say this is worth it for. Alonso, which would be the strangest fit in the world in my mind, and Alex Bregman, which they don't need. So like, I'm trying to figure out is there anything else to this? Because I'm super tired of the Dylan Cease back and forth thing. Like, are you in or out? Like, what's the point of making these moves and being out a year later? Like, I don't know. We've said this multiple times during the offseason. Like, you had so many different Dodgers saying that was the hardest series they played, and that was the team they were most worried about in the postseason.
And you've got a lot of people asking if the Dodgers broke the Padres.
Like, the Padres are so good. You're so good.
They were.
You have everything right there.
They're losing pieces, man. You've lost Profar. You've lost Kim.
Replaceable pieces in my mind.
Sure, but if you
the core is still there.
I understand, but like, that core is not getting any younger. And if you're talking about shedding these pieces potentially, you're only declining. And who's to say that they even replace the guys that they lost? They're yes, at the end of the day, on paper, replaceable players. But if you're shedding further names and you don't replace those guys, where does that leave you? In a worse place than you were last year. When, like you said, Dodgers were very clear as to the challenges that series in the postseason provided them. You were close. You were knocking on the door of being a legitimate threat to what has become the beast of Major League Baseball. And then you're undoing it all. You're walking it all back. You say, let's step back. Let's retreat back to HQ, figure this out, and then we'll go at it again. Why? You didn't need to do that.
They have nothing. They have nothing to work with. Their farm is shot. And it's strange to me that, like, so you look at like a Dave Dombrowski and you get it. Like, he's going to clean out your farm. He's going to max out your credit cards, but he's going to double down on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he does. That's the route we're going. That's the type of roster we're going to build, and we're going to do it until we find a ring. Now, it's been a weird situation in Philly, but like AJ Preller, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand. You trade for superstars, you get rid of the superstar next year. You give up all your prospects to get superstar. Then you reverse it. You're getting really close to being the top dog in the NL multiple times. And then it's like every step they take forward, it's two steps back, and it's their own doing. And I can't figure out why they're doing it. I don't figure out why they're like, I have nothing against Xander Bogaerts, but like, that was a dumb contract. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't smart.
2 things on that. It was a dumb contract. No, 3 things. It was a dumb contract. You'd be dumb not to take that if you're Xander Bogaerts. And 3, I said it when the deal happened, or I said it when he started to decline. I said that his level of output would not have plummeted to the level that it did had he stayed in Boston. I believe that. I truly do.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
But to your point about the farm system, you weren't wrong, dude. The list that I'm looking at has them 28th. They've just been gutted, and this article goes into talking about the potential impact of being able to offload Cease to replenish that a little bit. So it makes sense why they're doing it, but I mean,
it is. Man. I think it is tough because they had obviously their owner passed away. So like their ownership change in the middle of this era that they're in. And maybe the philosophy changes and Preller's, forced, to make do and figure things out. And here's his limitations that you have to follow moving forward. Like maybe that's the scenario. But at the same time, I feel like, you're already this far in. Might as well keep going. You know what I mean? Might as well go for it. And like, at the very least, you can potentially have a ring to show for it.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like that's the Phillies. That's why I use that comp. Because it's like, that's the Dombrowski mentality is like, we're going all in. I'm going to burn everything.
Exactly. Milk every last bit you can before the wheels fall off, and then hit the reset button and go at it again.
And you know what? Like, whether you agree with that or not, and there's probably Philly fans in the chat that are like, actually, I hate this right now, but at least you could say they went for it. At least you could say they tried everything they could, which majority of organizations aren't doing. So it's like, if you're the Padres, you've committed this much money to your core. You've gone this far in with Xander and Manny and Tatis and Cronenworth, all long-term deals. Like, fill in the gaps and go for it. Now's not the time to get rid of. It's not even freaking frontline talent. We're talking ace Cy Young talent. And Michael King was the return for Soto. So it's like, I don't understand.
I feel like he's like, call me crazy. Well, it's not crazy to say, but I understand there's a business side to these discussions. But I feel like Michael King's a great fit in San Diego. I don't know why. He just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like one of those guys.
He'll be a household name. I understand
you've been
a lot of people knew about him after the Soto trade because that was like the premier name. He will be a household name within a year or two. I can promise you. He's insanely good.
I'll credit you for that. Yeah, this isn't new. This isn't a new take. You've been saying this for a while.
Saying that when he was still a setup man. Like he's got it. So that's coming. But yeah, man, I'm confused with all of it.
Well, speaking of the Padres, former Padre Ha-Seong Kim signed with the Rays today, 2-year, $29 million deal that includes an opt-out after the first season. I was talking about it. I was talking about this with somebody at work yesterday. They were talking about the American League East and talking about what the bottom of that division is going to look like. And this person I was talking with was like, I don't see how the Rays don't finish last. And I said what I've been saying for the last handful of years. The Rays, whether or not they do it, it just seems like they find a way to manage 90 wins every year in and year out. I mean, you'd have to go back and look at what the actual win totals were to confirm whether or not that's true, relatively speaking. But
yeah,
it just feels like that because it's constantly a system of next man up. Like, who is this guy? Oh my goodness, this is one of the best players or could be one of the best players in baseball in the next within the next 10 years, stuff like that. It's like, where do they manufacture these guys? And this is just one of those. I'm not going to put any slander on Ha-Seong Kim's name. I love Ha-Seong Kim. I've been a Ha-Seong Kim believer even before last year.
Some fantasy bias there, but whatever.
For sure. But for all intents and purposes here, for the sake of this discussion, this is not a blockbuster move. This is not a major splash, in my opinion. But this is one of those moves that contributes to the narrative that I subscribe to, that they make the moves necessary. They bring in the right people. They slot people into the right roles, into the right positions to put themselves in a position to win 90 games. And Ha-Seong Kim is certainly going to help your chances in that respect because Ha-Seong Kim is a good baseball player. And he could have wound up anywhere, and I would have said I love this fit. And for the Rays, for his athleticism, for the way that slots into their style of play, I think this is a great signing.
I don't think they're getting enough respect, to be honest. And as I'm scrolling through this roster, I think everyone's forgetting the names that are coming back. And McClanahan coming back. Shane Baz coming back. Rasmussen coming back. Not to mention Pepio.
Taj Bradley had a run last year. Worth talking about.
You go around the lineup. I mean, they did bring in Danny Jansen to catch, so you got a little juice there. The infield. Talked about him at the beginning of the show. Caminero. Yandy Diaz is always going to hit. Brandon Lau. I feel like I'm curious to see what's real there. It feels like it's getting somewhat questionable, but I don't know. Maybe that was just a fluke last year. You got to remember they traded for Christopher Morel with the Cubs in that Isaac Paredes deal. Tyler Walls is still going to play defense. Like, there's enough there. Taylor Walls, sorry. Did I say Tyler? There's enough there that they can string together dubs. They can get some dubs. I was looking at their payroll and I'm like, I wonder if they're in like a similar A's territory a little bit. Only projected to have a $70 million payroll. And so again, like there's that target number that they got to get to for revenue sharing just to be eligible. And I know it's like consecutive years. There's a lot of rules around that stuff, but
they're just not, I mean, sure, on paper, maybe like in terms of legality and needing to reach certain thresholds, sure. But I think in terms of the public perception, they're not mentioned in the same breath as the A's, because while they do it unconventionally, they figure out ways to win, and they have adopted it as their own style, and that's how they do it.
They have an incredible scouting and analytical department and development department, like, and great coaching. So like they do it in their own way, and I think they still at least try to compete where it feels like the A's just kind of punt and it's like obvious to everybody. But I don't know, man, like you got to remember those names specifically in the starting staff that are coming back next year that are detrimental to their success. So will they finish last in the AL East? I don't know. I mean, we got a hot takes and predictions episode coming down the line here pretty soon, but I think they're going to be better than what people are predicting. And I wouldn't use last year too much as a measurement. You know what I mean? That's just me. But I do like Ha-Seong Kim. I keep seeing that his return date is getting closer and closer. Opening day, I think he's like May is what they're projecting.
Yeah, I think I said Taylor Wallace is going to be holding it down there at short for the time being. So
yeah, so it's a good piece. You can potentially move it. Weird that there's an opt out, but I guess I don't know. Like not playing for a while, being hurt for a while, missing the beginning of the year, not having a spring training. Maybe those are factors where you probably won't see a super hot Ha-Seong Kim right away. Sure. You know, maybe he's not finding himself until summer, and finally getting, 200-300 ABs under his belt before really settling in. But I don't know. I like it. I think there's plenty of good fits for him around the league. So I was anxious to see where he landed. This surprised me a little bit.
The Astros have moved on from Ryan Presley. The Cubs have acquired the closer in a trade. Cubs are sending over Juan Bello to the Astros.
Thanks for your service. A little bit. Brought in Hader, made you take a back seat.
Yeah, I was reading an article today. It talked about how that was that factored into it. That that move of bringing in Hader, which from a business side of things, you have to understand like what you're trying to do there. If you're Houston, or if you're Ryan Presley, of course, but I can still see how that would rub you the wrong way. Like, man,
I wouldn't be thrilled about it.
I've given you what I've given you, and like I've left it out there for you, and you still feel the need to move on. And again, albeit a better arm on paper, but it's still got to rub you the wrong way. And so I could understand waiving your no trade clause in order to make something happen to where maybe you can get I don't want to say a fresh start, because he's like 36. So, I mean, you're coming up on the tail end of your career anyway. But a fresh start in terms of the remaining years you have left here in the game. So, good for Presley. Going to what I think is going to be a competitive Cubs team, to where you're going to be the guy like you were in Houston there for some time. And I think this is a good move for the Cubs.
I think it's a win-win. I have no idea who the Astros got back, or I'm not familiar at all, but like just looking at their bullpen, stacked, dude. Their pitching is stacked. They're always so stacked. And there could have been something they noticed, or some reluctancy of fully stepping into that setup role. And then I know nowadays, like there's only so many typical closer formulas that are followed, but that's Josh Hader. You know what I mean? Like he's got to be able to have those opportunities, and splitting those, or even having the conversation of like, if he has a couple blown saves, do we give him a break and put Ryan Presley in and have that like controversy? I think it's easier to just avoid that overall. They have an incredible depth in the bullpen. Get something for him, let him go have an opportunity to close games elsewhere. So yeah, I think it was kind of a win-win. But yeah, 36, it's winding down.
I know we're pretty much like years away from it at this point, but I can't help but remember the scenario in which the White Sox created for themselves by bringing in Kimbrel and keeping Hendricks around. Or it was,
yeah.
Who did they bring in after though? Was Hendricks was already in house at that point, and they brought in Kimbrel? Is that how it went down?
Yeah.
It's just like that's one of those situations where you can knock traditional styles of strategy in baseball all you want, but there are some that I firmly believe that you just don't mess with. And if you're going to be a team that wants a traditional closer, you want a guy to be the guy,
you gotta fit that mold.
You fit that, you don't mess with it. You find your guy and you don't mess with it. And for the Astros, maybe they tried to make it work by having sort of a 1B guy, but it's
which on paper, like, it makes sense. And there are plenty of organizations that succeed in that rotating closer role, and like I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think being a dominant long-term closer is one of the hardest things to do in baseball. I think it's one of the hardest positions in baseball. So like, there's a reason why there's only so many. There's a reason why, no offense, but like a Kenley Jansen continues to get opportunities, and a Craig Kimbrel continues to get opportunities, because like there's only so many guys that are good at that. There's only so many guys that are going to go down in record books with that amount of saves. So it's like, yeah, the recency, you can take them through and be like, oh, we see a ton of blown saves from these guys. It's like, yeah, dude, but like nobody can really fulfill this role.
Like, everybody's going to blow these saves. So why not try your luck with a guy like for the Orioles, for example, bringing Kimbrel in a while back. It's like, just try your luck with a guy that's done it, because again, you're not going to have a guy unless you're the Guardians. You got Emmanuel Clase, who seemingly just ran the table up until the postseason, of course. But it's like, if you're gonna adopt a guy for your ninth inning, or you're gonna bring in a guy for your ninth inning, why not try your luck with somebody that's been doing it and proving 100%. It? But I digress. Let's move into a little bit of. It's not draft time just yet. We'll call it the appetizer to the draft.
Whose quote was this? Whose quote was this? Who said it? Whether it tastes like milk, whether it tastes like wine, we have to find out. Who said it? Was it Kyle or Nate? 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 Whose quote was this?
Whose quote was this, dude? When I created it in AI, I don't even remember what time I think I said like 15-second max. Here's what I want, and then it turns out this like a 1.5-minute long song. That's not even the full clip, by the way.
It's not.
I went in and trimmed it and like blended it and all this other nonsense. That's like that
AI.
natural song, like the way you hear it sort of progress and change. That wasn't how it came out. I had to sort of shorten it. Anyway,
AI's like, you're not holding me down. I gotta let this out.
I'm gonna let these drums breathe. Whose quote was this? Let's talk Braves, because like, what's going on with the world? Why does everyone think the Braves are like not gonna do their thing? I mean, we've talked about how I think Austin Riley is finally getting his true full-on chance. Like third base is yours, bro. Let's just get after this thing. We'll see if the magic is still with d'Arnaud offensively. But you have 2 MVP candidates as soon as you wake up in the morning with Freddie Freeman and Acuna. Ozuna is also going to be in that conversation. Also, this just doesn't add up to me. Albies, I think, is an underrated spark plug that doesn't get enough love. Young rotation, you added in Charlie Morton. How do they only win one game above 500? That was in reference to the PECOTA rankings. I don't get it. I think this is their division. This, I know we usually say this. This was in 2021. This was our hot takes and predictions episode 190. Making our predictions for the season to follow, 2021.
Based on hints, I feel like I was early to the Albies train, and there's a bro in there. So I'm going to go with me. Yeah.
Well done. We talked about
remind me, what happened in 2021?
Yeah, they went on to win the World Series,
Crazy.
Which is what I was just gonna say. I like we talked about last episode, kind of was getting the context clues from like the bits of the episode before that and sort of after, and we were just going in on the PECOTA ranking or the projections, I should say.
Yeah,
we're just so off the mark, and we're like, what is happening? Even if they don't go on to win the World Series, which they ultimately did, it's like you gotta have them doing a little bit better. They had them towards or at the bottom of the division that year. So I'm glad to see that was one thing that we nailed that year. We ultimately landed the biggest fish. Like if the team that wins the World Series, we were high on them apparently to start the year. So good on us.
It's good that we're reviewing them after the season now. Like that's a new thing that we're going to be doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I love when hot takes pan out. Makes me feel good.
You know what makes me feel good?
What you got, pal?
Doing the draft. It is our latest draft. I hope you guys enjoy the drafts, because even if you didn't, I wouldn't even care, because I love doing them, and I think Nate loves doing them too.
I think we would do this if the record button was not on.
That's a fact. We would just sit here and just dudes talking ball. But the latest draft idea that we came up with is birthplace / birth state draft. Okay. So we've got it pulled up where players, and this is going to be all time, where players were born, what state they're born in. We're going to follow the same structure. We're going to fill out a full lineup, 1 through 9, traditional lineup. pitcher, catcher, so on and so forth. And we're going to add a DH. So we're going to have 10 picks? Right?
Hold
Was
on.
it
This is what I was going to ask you. Is that like, are we going to go back to the two pitcher thing? As we initially did starter and reliever.
I mean, we can. What do you
Should
want?
we just go pitcher, like two pitcher spots? Whether you want a starter or reliever. What you think?
I like keeping it consistent, so maybe we just pick one or the other. Because it's in my opinion,
a pitcher then. It's just
in my opinion, it's hard to grade, or it's hard to pick a winner if you're presenting two different products. So like if somebody if you went with two relievers and I went with two starters, and it's like, well, how do you really judge that?
So it's only a starting pitcher, no reliever.
If you want.
Okay.
Wait, how did we do the last draft? It was the numbers. What did we do?
Just a pitcher.
Just a pitcher.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's your call. What do you want to do? I'll defer to you.
I mean, because if I get freaking Panama, I'm going Mo. But if we're only starting pitcher,
I'm pretty sure it's only the 50 U.S. states.
Oh, we're only doing.
We're not going U.S. territories.
All right.
That would possibly an oversight on my part, but
it is a little bit because I was looking at the Birthplace on the link you sent me through Bleacher Report. But I've seen the randomizer. The randomizer. Did I say Bleacher Report? I'm losing it. Baseball Reference. But you're saying the randomizer, we can't necessarily add these other countries in. I get it.
Correct.
I get it.
Correct.
So Mo is out.
Correct.
It's too bad. All right. And then what about the top 3 war thing? Did you like that little? Which I don't know if you noticed, by the way. You didn't use all 3.
Well, it didn't matter. I got to the end of the draft and I'm picking like Peanuts Lowry. Like that's the only eligible player.
That's what makes it cool is that like you got to decide when you use it.
Stupid. All right. I mean, I'm down if you are.
I'm down.
Check it out. I got my brand new whiteboard here.
Look at those pizza slices.
My lineup and Nate's lineup ready to be completed here.
U.S. states.
What did we decide on? One pitcher,
whatever starter, reliever, whatever you want to do.
That's fair. Okay.
So for those new to the draft, it's pitcher, catcher, 4 infielders, 3 outfielders, and a DH.
Oh, we're sticking to that. Okay.
Yeah.
And a DH. Yep. And are we? You want to explain, if for those who are new, do you want to explain the 3 war thing again?
So we filter it by war, and you only get 3 top 3 war guys on your roster. Utilize that however you want. Kyle backed himself into a corner last week and didn't get to use the 3rd guy. That's on him.
Yeah, that was a major oversight on my part. Okay.
Did we like decide a winner last time? Was it up?
I
for
went back
vote?
and read the comments. It was closer this last time around, which I agreed with. The first one, it
was a landslide.
What was the first topic we did? Alphabetical. That's what it was.
Alphabetical.
Yeah, that was a landslide. The jersey numbers, doing it based on jersey numbers that guys wore throughout their career. This most recent one, that was closer. But the consensus was that you won with it again, so you will take first pick. And to maintain consistency, we will keep it a snake draft.
All right.
Are you ready?
Hit that randomizer.
First state up, West Virginia.
Tough one to start with.
Yeah, that's tough.
West Virginia, 133 names. Oh, no. Can you filter by? Oh, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Whoa. Okay. Some names in here. Not really.
Yeah, let's not get carried away here.
It's top heavy. It's real top heavy.
Real top heavy.
Wow.
Real top heavy.
Wow.
Some of these guys, no, there's no way some of these guys are real. Like, come on.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Like, you're not going to pick this guy, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. Walt Craddock? Who is that? Like, no offense to the Craddock family, but what are we doing?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to burn one right away. Give me George Brett at third base.
That's fair.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. 4 infield spots. So I'm just going
Yep.
George Brett.
Oh, true. I didn't even need
Pizza slice.
yeah, whatever. Put an asterisk there for you. I'm going to go ahead and see. The problem is I don't.
Come on. There's only one other name on here.
What are you talking about?
You're not doing any of these other randos.
Let's go Bill Mazeroski.
Really?
Really? 10-time All-Star, Hall of Famer. What are we talking about? And didn't have to burn one of my picks.
I feel like
What was the other name you were talking about?
I feel like John Kruk would have gotten you a little more votes. That's all.
I didn't see John Kruk on here.
Yeah.
Sure enough. Ninth. No, I'm going
Walked
I'm
in.
going with a Hall of Famer. What are we talking about? I wouldn't want to change it. I don't care. All right, that's one of my infielders. All right.
Spin that wheel, sucker.
Next state up. You got to be kidding me. North Dakota.
Bro.
These generators hate
There's
us.
20
There's
people.
20 players. 20. Oh, man.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take...
Dude.
See, this sucks because I don't want to.
Suck.
I don't want to have to blow one of my picks on this.
I know.
Did you say one pitcher?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this sucks. Well, I guess
Down for a respin, but
no. That's against the rules
cheap,
of the game.
man. It's just cheap. Yeah.
It's not cheap. Can I question? Can I? Oh no, I can. Never mind. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Travis Hafner is my DH.
Damn it. Asterisk, technically.
Oh, I know, but you're gonna have to use one too,
Sure am.
unless you're an idiot.
Oh man, I think we could be in for a doozy. Yeah, I can't get too crazy here. Give me Darren Erstad in the outfield.
Sucks.
Yeah, it does.
No offense to Darren Erstad. Big Darren Erstad guy. Not really, but for the sake of the draft, big Darren Erstad guy.
Dude, North frickin' Dakota? What are we doing?
Let me guess. The next state is going to be Montana.
Alaska.
All right. Next state. Your pick, right?
Yeah, my pick. Come on, randomizer. Don't bang us here.
Oh, you're getting banged.
Come
You're
on.
getting banged. Vermont.
Bro.
These aren't
What
even.
are we doing?
These aren't even states. They're states, but barely. Come on. No offense if you live in those states, but come on. And
This is unbelievable.
And to answer the question, no, this whiteboard was not less than 3. I got it at Five Below. Shout out Five Below. And it was in fact $5. But I could have gotten one for $2 at Walmart, but I wanted to have it for tonight's draft, so I made an impulse buy and just spent $5 on it. So mission failed, unfortunately.
Well, scrolling down, making sure there isn't some young buck in here that we didn't know about. And there's not, so that's sick. Give me Carlton Fisk, my last war guy.
That's a great catcher pick.
That's
though.
a good one to.
I mean, for a position that you often throw away in drafts, like that's. What do we say, Vermont? I mean, this is a situation where it's like I don't even know who to go with because none of these names are even recognizable. So this kind of bones me for.
That's why I was scrolling down a little bit just to see.
Scroll down. There's nobody here.
There's nothing. Tough, man. You want to roll out Ed Doheny?
I'm thinking Elmer Bowman or maybe Heine Stafford. There seems
Doc
like
Hazelton.
there seem like some good picks. I mean, come on.
Born in 1876. Was Vermont even rocking? Was there even anything happening in Vermont in 1876?
Dude, there is not a recognizable name after
Also,
Carlton Fisk. What do I do?
I don't know. You got to suck it up. Many apologies to anybody in the chat that's from Vermont.
No
There's
apologies
not
to
shots-
anybody in
it's not
Vermont.
shots fired.
Produce better baseball talent. This is ridiculous.
Or North Dakota or West Virginia. Actually, West Virginia, there's shots fired there.
No, West Virginia produces fine talent. Same with, you could make the argument for North Dakota comparatively. But Vermont, be better, Vermont. This is a joke. I'm going to throw it out there because Nate's already picked. Number two. You want to know who number 2 in WAR is on Baseball Reference, according to Baseball Reference, from Vermont in WAR? Number 2, Larry Gardner.
Larry Gardner was 5'8", 165.
Does that name sound familiar? No, it probably doesn't. You know why? Because he played from 1908 to 1924. So I don't know what to do. Ernie Johnson could be interpreted as the backyard baseball character. Maybe I go with him. All right. Well, I'm gonna pick
Harry Houlihan.
Where's Harry? Yeah,
Walt Lanfranconi.
Yeah, I saw Walt Lanfranconi. What do we think? Harry Oh yeah, no, I'm going Harry Houlihan. Harry Houlihan played from 1922 to 1922. So
played 7 games.
What even is he?
I don't know.
Actually, I need to finalize my. No, I can't do that.
He's a pitcher. Yeah, I can't do that.
What's Walt Oh, also a pitcher. I mean, come on.
You can roll out Chris Duffy. This is tough, man.
Who is Heine Stafford? Okay, so Heine Stafford is listed as a pinch hitter. What does that mean? What do I do with that? Genuinely asking. What do I do with that?
Bertie Tebbets? How are we just scrolling past that name?
Where's Bertie? What is Bertie Tebbets?
He's a catcher. Born in 1912.
Burlington,
Vermont.
Oh, for sure. Good find. Hey, thanks.
You're
Tip
welcome.
of the cap. Thanks for helping me out there. Bertie Tebbets is my catcher.
Bertie Tebbets. Excellent.
How about that? And this is Vermont, never to be spoken of again.
Seriously.
All right, my first pick.
Give me something good, dude. Something deep.
Next state is Pennsylvania.
Much better. 1,500 names compared to
Oh,
38.
baby. Oh, baby. Well, that's not good for me because that means you get a lot to pull from. Oh, wait. I already know who I'm going with. What am I talking about?
Holy
Actually,
crap, dude.
oh boy.
You could freaking
All right,
throw anything out.
I'm going to play this smart here. You know what? I'm going to go. Wow. I did not realize there was, two of these I knew for sure because I've posted about it before. Very wild story if you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But wow, that is a lot. Pennsylvania is deep.
Deep.
All right, I'm going to play this I'm gonna play this strategically here.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm gonna go.
I've used all three of mine, so.
No, you haven't.
I have. I had to. Darren Erstad.
He was
me.
top 3. You're right.
Yeah, burned me.
Oh, then I'm sitting pretty then. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it because there's some depth here, and this isn't even a loss.
A lot of depth.
It's not an L here. I'm going Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah,
in my outfield.
You had to. And for those wondering, he's not a top 3 guy. As far
How
as
crazy
WAR
is
goes.
that, dude? He's not even top 4.
Yeah.
Shout out Eddie Plank.
That's funny. I think I'm gonna roll out. I think give me Mike Piazza in my DH spot.
All right.
Do you like that?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have done that. Well, actually, no. You kind of have to because
I would have gone Griffey for the record if you didn't.
Yeah.
So,
and
but big names up there: Honus Wagner, Stan Musial, left alone, not taken. Reggie Jackson in this group as well.
All right, next states. Hawaii.
Oh, that's not going to be as good as you think it is. 49 guys.
What was Vermont? 20? 38.
38. Oh, I think I already know one name I can go with. He's a top 3. That sucks. I was going to go Shane Victorino. I can't. That sucks. Bro. Ron Darling entered the chat.
Josh in the chat said if Griffey is not top 3, the stat's broken. Junior is number 1 all time. We
ain't the war calculator. We ain't the war police, you know?
I'm just going with what Baseball Reference is showing me. And he wasn't even, what did I say? He's not even top 4.
Kirby Yates is from Hawaii?
Oh, yeah. Big Hawaii guy.
Did not know that. Well, not really worth spending too much time here. Give me Colton Wong in the infield.
Even though we're doing like 4 infielders and 3 outfielders, I'm still putting guys where they play just for
whatever, overachiever.
Peace of mind.
I don't need to hear it.
That's so funny that you had to blow
I had
through all 3 picks. Like
That
you didn't have a
sucks.
choice.
Like
Did
after
not have a
blowing
choice.
the first one, I had to then blow the next 2.
Yeah.
Because
Crazy.
Darren Erstad was the only other name outside of Travis Hafner, and Carlton Fisk was the only name from Vermont.
I'm pulling. Actually, no, I'm not even pulling. This is awfully close here. I'm gonna go. You went Colton Wong. I'm gonna go. See, this is where the draft. It's these picks is where
It's where the
Where it's
winners are
won.
made.
Jordan Yamamoto. Why does that sound familiar? Not Yoshinobu. I'm not, but I feel like I've heard that name before.
Kenakoa Teixeira.
Kian Wong. That's Colton's brother, right? Who did he play for? Tyler
Yates.
We got Kurt Suzuki, but I already have a catcher. Ron Darling.
It's a tough name to. Nothing against Ron Darling. That's a tough name to bring to the pitcher spot, you know?
No, I know, but I'm just talking about names that I would consider. Yeah, I'm going to have to go. I hate that I'm doing this, but I'm going to go Shane Victorino.
Got to. Yeah. Got to.
Hawaii. This is my 5th pick.
That is your second top 3 guy.
Oh, true. Yeah, asterisk. All right, so I need a first. Well, 2 infielders, 2 outfielders, and a pitcher.
We got no repeats on this randomizer, correct?
If we do, actually, no, that is a valid point. I was thinking about that earlier today. I'm like, do we
It'd be
go?
great if like California came up twice, but
I'm saying, like, before we encounter that, do we want to agree to a respin or do we want to stick with the repeats? Because you technically, I mean, there's no reason you couldn't.
I don't know what we'll do if we get Vermont again.
We just pray that we don't land on Vermont.
I think it's funnier if we keep it. So we keep it.
Keep respin or repeats.
It. No respins.
Fair enough. All right, whose pick is it? Is it me?
It's you.
Because you went Colton, I went Shane Victorino. Maine. Who is from Maine?
78 names. That's a little better.
That means nothing. What if they're just a bunch of Joe Blows?
No. It's only Joe Blows.
It's only Joe Blows. What does this even mean? Who are these people?
Oh, Chummy Gray.
Chet Chadbourne? These Louis Sokolexis? That's not a real guy. That's not a real guy.
Bro, this is like when you're scouting in like MLB The Show and just got fake names rolling through. Pop Williams?
Is this him? Oh, hold on. Hold on. This might be him. This is him. This is him. This is my guy. This is who I'm going with. Please tell me he's a pitcher. I'm going with the greatest name to have ever existed in Major League Baseball. My pitcher, I'm going with Cannonball Titcomb.
That's nice. That's nice.
Cannonball Titcomb.
How far down is he?
He's literally at the bottom of the list.
Oh, it's Liddell.
But I saw Titcomb and I knew that was him. I had to look it up to confirm. Cannonball Titcomb is my pitcher. Talk about winning votes on a name. I
feel like you gotta put Liddell first off. I think it's cheating if you throw nicknames in there.
No, if you've been following this podcast for any length of time, you've seen my posts on multiple occasions because I love sharing it from time to time. Cannonball Titcomb is the best name in baseball history. Argue with a wall.
Do I roll out Jack Robinson just hoping someone flies through that when they're reading it?
Pudge in the chat said minus 3.4 WAR for Cannonball Titcomb. Solid. I'm not worried about that in this draft.
Clyde Suckaforth. Man.
I
legitimately don't recognize a single name.
I am so glad. I mean, if we're going to be stuck with Joe Blows, no offense to Cuke Barrows, I'm glad I got Cannonball Titcomb. Like that is the best pick of any of the drafts we've done thus far. That is my favorite pick that I've had. Pinned up against the wall that is Maine and not having any names to choose from.
All right.
I mean, that's a steal.
To keep it fair, because I feel like, you know what? If you're gonna burn a pitcher spot, I'm gonna burn a pitcher spot. I'm gonna go Chummy Gray.
All right. I mean, that's a great name, but I really feel like you would have been better suited to go with what was the guy's name? No, it's not loading.
Pam Allen.
So who are you going with?
I'm going Chummy Gray. Ooh, Simi Murch.
Nope, you already went Chummy Gray.
That's nice. Simi Murch, born in 1880. 6'2", 220. Freaking giant back in the day.
Yeah, wasn't the average height of a man like 5'6"?
5'2".
Gotta plug in this Ethernet.
Cuke Barrows.
Make sure my internet works. This is crazy. Cuke Barrows, yeah, what a name.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Oh, the Coombs brothers.
I cannot believe what a steal. What an absolute steal. I hope
Willard Maines.
if you're voting once I put the graphic up and I ask for
All right.
for
we
who
don't need to cook this up that much, guy.
I can cook it up as much as I want. You better remember this pick. All right, who's got first? You've got first pick.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep.
Random state is Kentucky.
Give me something good in Kentucky.
Kentucky's got some names. Kentucky's got some names, don't they? Am I crazy?
Chicken Wolf.
That's not I'm convinced half the guys that are listed having played Major League Baseball didn't actually play Major League Baseball. This is crazy.
Don't talk noise on my boy Chicken.
Chicken Wolf. Ooh, oh, you already blew your spot. You could have went Walker Buehler here.
I could have, but unfortunately, I got Chummy Gray. Wait, what state are you on?
I'm on Kentucky, dude.
Does he just have no WAR? Where is he at? I don't even see him.
He's still playing. He's still accumulating, and he hasn't had a bang-up career. 46th. WAR of 12.24. Lexington, Kentucky. Shout out.
Phil Roof. These are some ridiculous names. Dude. Give me.
That's back when they gave you names based on your profession.
Big time.
Phil Roof. That adds up.
Red Eret. Chicken Wolf is just, it's standing out to me. I don't know, man. None of this is great.
This is good for me. This is great for me.
I think I'm gonna go. Where'd he go? I just need to confirm position. There he is. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Nah. Give me Dan Ugla.
There we go. Good pick. Good pick. Considering.
Yeah. Infield is looking a little thin.
And I'm going to go Pee Wee Reese, and that finishes off my top 3 WAR names.
Yeah.
So my top 3 WAR names, as it stands right now, Pee Wee Reese, Shane Victorino, and Travis Hafner for Kentucky, Hawaii, and North Dakota, respectively. Your top 3 are George Brett, Carlton Fisk, and Darren Erstad for West Virginia, Vermont, and North Dakota, respectively. Next state up.
By the way, Jay Buhner was in the conversation in my head.
Ooh, another good pick. Again, considering.
Yeah.
Next state, Wisconsin. Have we picked every non-baseball state?
We had like a warm freaking state
outside
at
of Pennsylvania, which rolls deep. We have not had a baseball state yet.
Oh no, guy. Oh no,
what
guy.
state? What did I say? What state?
Wisconsin.
There's 256 names. Let me guess. Joe Blows.
Bro, what are we?
Kid Nichols. Who was that?
Pink Holly?
Pink Holly? Who was that?
He's high up on this list.
I'm just gonna have to find. Oh, this sucks.
Yeah, it does.
I'm gonna go. Man, you learn a lot doing these drafts. Like some of these guys, I'm like, I had no idea you played. You were from there.
Chet Labs. Nice.
All right, I'm gonna go. I won't get too far down the list here. I'm going to go.
Jeez, man. What's going on in Wisconsin?
Not baseball, I can tell you that much.
That's for sure.
I'm going to go. We said one pitcher.
Yep.
I'm going to go. Man, this draft is,
This is a wild ride.
it's
I
pretty.
never want to do this one again.
No, this is great. I love this. This is great. Nobody was born in Wisconsin that ever played baseball.
Otto Schomburg was.
All right, I'm gonna
Scott Cervais. What?
I'm gonna play this smart here, and I'm gonna use some flexibility here, and I'm gonna go. No. Can I do that?
What do you got, Kai?
I'm choosing between two names here. And I think I'm going to go with, okay. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go Gavin Lux in my outfield.
Whoa.
He's listed as a left fielder on Baseball Reference. Relax. Wisconsin. This is my 8th pick.
Give me Dalton Varsho.
Yep, that was the other name I was going with. Where are you putting him? Infield or outfield? Or
Outfield.
not infield. You already got your catcher. Okay,
Yeah, I already
outfield.
got my catcher.
I actually think I'm going to win this draft. I'm not going to lie.
I think you will too. Unless
All right.
Mookie comes in late.
I swear, if we land on Tennessee,
Man.
that will be
Mookie has saved the day.
that'll be
That's
one of the
for
better
sure.
that'll be one of the better bits of this podcast if you get Mookie Betts. if we land on Tennessee for the 10th and final pick. All right. You got first pick, right?
Yeah.
This coming one.
Yeah.
Utah, dude, I'm never
What
using
are
this
we
generator again.
doing?
Never using this generator
What are
again.
you doing to me?
Utah, 48 names. Just give me Texas. Just once. Just Texas. Come on.
I don't know a single name on here.
This blows.
Drew Thorpe is way higher on this list than he needs to be. For those curious, Bruce Hurst, number 1 on the list, according to WAR. This is awful. This might be the worst state.
I don't know, dude. Vermont, yikes. Couldn't even tell you who any of these people are.
I don't.
These aren't real people.
I don't know what to do.
These aren't real people. I need an outfielder and an infielder. You got to be kidding me.
No, you put Gavin Lux in your outfield. You need 2 infielders.
No, I need.
Yeah.
No.
You have Griffey, Victorino, and Lux in your outfield.
Victorino is on my infield. Or no,
Why?
What am I saying? I'm sorry. That was a brain fart for sure. Victorino's in my infield. Why? Yeah, that was stupid. Crap.
I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to find.
Yeah, that was dumb. Wow. Dude, what would have happened if my outfield was full before I realized that I had written down Victorino by accident?
Just out here. There's not even fun names on here.
No.
There's not even fun names.
The most white Wonder Bread names you could. Dave Gray.
Kelly Downs. Bobby Mitchell.
Billy Cook,
Bro,
Porter Hodge.
what are we doing?
Oh, Porter Hodge is a 2024 guy. Who the heck does Porter Hodge play for? The Cubs. How about that?
Herman Franks. Come on.
How about
Catcher and pinch hitter. So that's not going to work.
I think we need to make a rule moving forward. Any player that's listed,
Pinch hitter, you just do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want with him.
Yeah. Bad idea.
Ultimately, that's what would happen should he get slotted into the field.
I'm just trying to find someone that isn't a pitcher. Fred Sanford. Everybody is a freaking okay.
I owe Utah this win. This is going to be what jams you up.
Yeah, because the rest didn't.
Because you needed a bounce back pick here. Because I feel like as it stands right now, I've got the draft.
This is
if
so
people know
bad.
ball, like if people know ball, but if they don't know ball, they go, "Oh, I recognize more names on Nate's lineup." Oh, that's a you problem.
Oh my gosh. Everyone freaking pitches.
Yep, outfielder and first baseman. See, they know in the chat. They know what you need.
I think I had him, but I kept looking. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Chris Shelton.
There's a call. Shut
in the
up.
infield.
This is over. This is over.
It's over. I'm never doing this draft again.
I love this draft, and not because I think I'm going to win, but because of how insane it is. Like I'm seeing names that I'll say again, I'm convinced have never seen a baseball field, much less exist. Like forget that exists. I don't think these people are real.
I don't think they are either.
This is Utah. This is your 9th pick. No. What am I missing here?
What was before Utah?
Was that Wisconsin?
I thought we had one.
Kentucky was 7.
Kentucky.
This is 9th. Your 10th pick will be your 10th and final pick will be an outfielder. I'm gonna go. I should have been looking at who I'm gonna go with.
Ooh. Should have gone Gordon Slade. Newt Kimball.
George Theodore.
So many pitchers on this
Brandon
list.
Duckworth.
I know. I wanted that one too. Herman Franks. That sounded like a layup.
Oh, did you say Duckworth is a pitcher?
Yep.
Wow, he's a 2001 to 2008 guy.
I know.
I feel like I would have remembered that. Joe Barlow. Gordon Slade.
Pitchers.
Kelly Downs. Why does that sound familiar?
Pitcher.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Downs? Is that a brother?
Father?
Is it a father? No, his brother.
Idea.
Brother of Kelly Downs. Also a pitcher. Billy Cook. Yeah, I'm seeing in the chat Billy Cook.
Throw him in the outfield. Oh, you can't. Is he an infielder? He is an infielder.
So what does that mean I have left? Oh, one infielder.
Yeah. Get me out of here.
Kai Bush.
Just go Billy Cook. Already wrote it down.
At this point, I'm looking at the second round of the 2021 draft.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Cook was 10th round of the 2021 draft.
We're really doing this?
Relax. I wish you could sort it by draft stock here. Okay. I've spent way too much time looking at this, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Wait a minute. Bobby Mitchell. Why does that sound familiar? Bobby Mitchell. Why does that? I'm looking at him right now. Why does that sound familiar? Doesn't matter. He's just center fielder. All right. What did I say? Billy Cook.
Mm-hmm.
All right. William Monroe Cook.
Send it. Dude, give me a decent state here. This is insane.
What state did we just do?
Utah.
Utah. That was my 10th pick. All right. Here we go.
If you roll out Idaho, I'm breaking this thing. Don't do it.
Random state. And I saw in the chat, I think somebody asked what generator I'm using. This is gigacalculator.com.
Trash. Never again.
Never again. Here we go. Random state. Who's got first pick?
I do. You do.
I do. Give me Tennessee. Give me Tennessee. Illinois. What a joke of a generator.
I mean, that's better, but like this is
sure,
the
but
worst generator.
Illinois, over 1,000 guys. Wow.
A lot of Hall of Famers.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me see here. War. 111. Ricky Henderson. No kidding. Robin Yount, Jim Tomey, Robin Roberts, Lou Boudreau, Kirby Puckett, Freddie Lynn.
I know. Rolling deep.
Jesse Barfield. I got that baseball card.
Yeah, but what about Fritz Ostermuller? Can't forget him.
I'm going. Oh, baby. What a slam dunk of a final pick. Just outside the top 3.
I know.
I'm putting Jim Tomey. And look at that. Wouldn't you know it? Look at that. I've got my first base spot waiting for him. I knew. I knew.
Did you write with your non-dominant hand?
What are you talking about?
That's brutal.
What's brutal? My writing?
To read that, yeah.
Whatever.
It's awful.
Whatever. You're just upset you lost the draft.
I'm pissed. I hate this. I would do any other draft before I did this one. Again. Never again. Well.
This was great. I love this. I love this.
I'm scrolling down to make sure there's not like any like young freaking phenom that's on here. It just doesn't have a ton of war.
Just take the L.
Shut up.
Take the L.
Yeah, but Chuck Dressen could save me. Emil Gross.
Dude, what an insane draft.
How is Charlie Comiskey in the Hall of Fame? With a 7 WAR.
Is
that what the field was named after? Comiskey Park? Is it named after him?
Yeah, probably safe bet.
Buzz Capra. Egyptian Healy.
These are not real people. They're not real people.
All right. Let's just go back up here.
What am I missing? Who was your 10th pick?
I don't know. Chris Shelton.
I have him at 9. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Trash.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Give me Kirby Puckett in the outfield.
Oh, wait. We only had 10 picks. That's why. From Illinois.
Awful draft. Absolutely terrible.
To recap, and thanks, shout out to everyone who's stuck around. To recap, in order, just to show you that we're not crazy, this has been an insane selection of states. Random state generator, again, this was the draft by birth state. Random generator in order gave us West Virginia, North Dakota, Vermont, Pennsylvania, Hawaii, Maine, Kentucky, Wisconsin, Utah, Illinois. Outside of Pennsylvania, not a baseball state on there. But you know what? We made it work. Recapping Nate's team here. Chummy Gray on the bump. Carlton Fisk behind the dish. There's a real freaking wheeler and dealer out there on the bump. Chummy Gray on the bump. Carlton Fisk behind the dish. George Brett on the infield, Chris Shelton on the infield, Colton Wong on the infield, Dan Ugla on the infield. In the outfield, you got Kirby Puckett, Dalton Varsho, Darren Erstad, and his DH is Mike Piazza. For yours truly, on the bump, you've got the greatest name in all of baseball history, Cannonball Titcomb. On the bump, behind the dish, you've got, I don't even remember what his first name was, Tebbets. Birdie Tebbets.
Cannonball and Birdie, just the battery that you didn't know you needed.
Didn't know I needed that battery. Now it's the only thing I want. Cannonball Titcomb on a bump, Birdie Tebbets behind the dish. Around the horn, Pee Wee Reese, Billy Cook, Bill Mazeroski, and Jim Tomey. In the outfield, Gavin Lux, Shane Victorino, Ken Griffey Jr., and my DH is Travis Hafner. Your top three war picks were George Brett, Darren Erstad, and Carlton Fisk. And mine were Travis Hafner, Pee Wee Reese, and Shane Victorino.
I got burned.
I'm just going to go ahead and circle my name.
Let's see. Let's see. Maybe the chat feels a little different.
There's no C in anything. It's game over.
I don't see anything about your name in here.
Josh said my baseball field looks like a piece of pizza. I know, Josh. I got to draw better fields next time.
You need to figure out that penmanship, my man.
The pens are. I might see if I can return this. The pen's like running out. I bought this tonight. The pen's basically running out. So I'm. You know what? Maybe it's my lucky board though, because this will be my first dub of the drafts we've done thus far. So I'm gonna.
I don't know. We got to throw it out there. I'm not seeing any comments either way.
I'm gonna throw it out there, but I mean, I
feel like Chummy Gray could have really set me over, but
Cannonball Titcomb and Birdie Tebbets. Shut up. That battery alone, the rest of the field could be blank, and that battery alone would win me the draft. All right, that's plenty deep. Gave you a little bit of extra content there to get you through the end of the week. So enjoy it. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to those who stick around in the chat. Shout out if you've been listening. Shout out if you're watching. We love all of you guys. Have a great rest of your week. If anything big happens, we might try to get to an emergency pod, but otherwise we will catch you guys early next week. That's all I got.
In the meantime, don't you dare go chasing curveballs.
We love y'all, and as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.